for Salgado. Being a collegiate athlete is a career that many athletes desire, but did you know that it may not be that easy? Less than 3 out of 50 high school seniors who participate in interscholastic baseball will go on to play baseball at an NCAA university. If you are into numbers like that, it is roughly about 6%. Lakefront reporter Jonathan LaCourse reports.
If you're a high school senior who wants to get picked up by a big college scout, here are some tips for you.
Really just hustling and playing the game hard. Having the physical tools is great, but if a scout sees you hustling on and off the field, that's how you play the game properly. That'll open some attention towards coaches at the next level.
Our Lady of the Lake is an NAIA university, but you could eventually make your way up to an NCAA university, which is a dream for most athletes who want to go pro.
You'll handle your academics first, and then on top of that, doing everything you can, because we're recruiting the person just as much as we are recruiting the ball players.
A Major League Baseball team will select less than 100 senior baseball players from the NCAA, or roughly 10%. 1 in 200 high school senior athletes who play interscholastic baseball, or about 1% of them, will eventually be selected by an MLB team.
Definitely being physical in the weight room, having a body plays a part, definitely helps when being seen in the first place. Really just making sure you're prioritizing the weight room to set yourself apart from others.
Being a student athlete is a privilege, and no matter how much a recruit may fall in love with the school that they are at, roughly 33% of all athletes either quit or are asked to leave before they even make it to graduation.
Whether it's staying on top of the weights, eating right, just putting your body and yourself in the best position to be ready for a college career.
Reporting for Lakefront News, I'm Jonathan LaCourse.
The prestigious Olu Futuro Leaders Scholars Program will recognize 20 academically talented, leadership-driven, first-generation college-bound students with a full tuition and fee scholarship for the 2023 to 2024 academic year. The Olu Futuro Leaders Scholars Program was created in response to the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board's recently announced Building a Talent Strong Texas Strategic Plan. Olu will award full tuition and fees scholarships to 20 incoming freshmen for the fall 2023 academic year.
I think it's really cool that they have opportunities for first generation students to get a full scholarship. Coming from a background like myself where money isn't the number one thing that's available in my household, I think it's really cool that there is 20 students are able to have this experience.
Every Texas high school will have the opportunity to nominate a student for this prestigious scholarship by December 1st of 2022 deadline. To learn more about the Olu Futuro Leaders Scholars Program, email admissions@olusa.edu. Pumpkin spice and everything nice. With the fall season upon us, Olu's very own Starbucks is here to celebrate the season with us. The fall Starbucks menu is back, and among the delicious drinks are pumpkin spice lattes, apple crisp lattes, and variations of drinks mixed with cinnamon and oat milk.
I actually really like Starbucks. Not really adventurous in my flavors, but I think that having new flavors would be fun.
Starbucks fall flavors are around until the first week in December or when a store is out of stock. Make sure to grab a pumpkin spice latte before they're gone. Our Lady of the Lake continues to grieve the loss of a university student. Lakefront reporter Jacqueline Alfaro shares what one professor is hoping to accomplish after the tragedy.
Amid the loss of one of our very own students, Angelina Martinez, due to a head-on collision of a drunk driving accident, an Olu professor wants to make sure she doesn't lose another student due to drunk driving. Dr. Adriana Rocha Garcia is an assistant marketing professor at Our Lady of the Lake University and shares her compassion towards the passing of one of her students.
So I'm very familiar with the Olu community and how close-knit it is. So when I learned that one of my students had passed away, it was shocking, of course, right? Because I treat all of my students like my own babies, right?
After learning more of what happened in this tragedy, Dr. Garcia encourages her students to talk about what occurred, to brainstorm on what can possibly be done to help alleviate these situations moving forward.
So I think it just hit even closer to home that Angelina was in one of our current classes, and she impacted the lives of a lot of our classmates. So as I learned of the details of what happened, I encouraged my students to, one, talk about what happened, right? And I feel like I'm the adult in the room, right? And so a lot of my students are traditional students, and so they don't have maybe as much experience with policy or different things that have been attempted to slow down, for instance, drunk driving.
Although students offer wonderful ideas, there can be challenges. Making sure to cover all aspects, including the legalities aspect, is an important part of the learning process.
So there's different opportunities that I feel that my students could come up with, right? And so we already started brainstorming. Last week there were some ideas that were tossed around in class. And again, in the learning mode, and the educator in me was like, well, but you can't because of this. Well, yeah, but no, because of this, right? And so, and that's a learning process, right? Because we could all have wonderful ideas, and then we're like, wait a second, how does this actually come to be, right? How do we get the best idea forward that will have a great impact, but that can also, by the way, be legally done, right?
Our Lady of the Lake makes it easy for students to access resources that enable them to speak to professionals who can help if students may be struggling with any of life's challenges.
I need you to know that we have Nick Nichols, who's a director of University Ministry, and we have Sister Christina Chavez, who are available. Any of you who would like to come and just talk.
Students shared with me that they are excited to see what this new initiative may bring to campus. If you or anyone you know may have an idea and would like to share, please feel free to reach out to me. Reporting for Lakefront Media, I am Jacqueline Alfaro.
Looking for a new place to study? We've got you covered. Lakefront reporter Adriana Ramirez tells you where you can go to get that A.
Looking for a new place to study? We've got you covered. The OLU campus has a variety of study areas to get you ready for all your study needs. Our Lady of the Lake Zolfanthus Library has a total of 9 private study rooms. Also, with a 24-hour lab located on the first floor that has a total of 30 computers with full printer access as well. The library is open Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. through 5 p.m., with Fridays being extended hours through 12 p.m. The library is also open on weekends from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m.
My favorite study area is the library on the 3rd floor, as it's close to the apartments and it is quiet up here, so it's very convenient for me.
With your OLU library account, you can make a reservation for study rooms located on both the 2nd and the 3rd floor. They have a total of 9 general study rooms where you have access to a desk as well as a whiteboard.
Definitely the 24-hour lab has always come in handy, especially like on those late nights when you need to turn in stuff. It's also super useful when you just need to study and just, take some time to work. But other than that, it's super helpful.
I'm Adriana Ramirez, and this is Lakefront News.
It's about to be November, so you know what that means. It's now Christmas season. Looking for a dessert to bring to a holiday potluck or just to make for fun with friends? Turn brownies into Christmas trees. All you need is a box brownie mix, grain frosting, and sprinkles. Make and bake brownies according to package directions. Cut the brownies into triangles to resemble Christmas trees. Decorate with frosting using a plastic bag and add sprinkles for a final touch. That's it. This dessert is under $5, easy to make in your dorm room, and tasty. Not to mention fun to make with your friends for a Christmas movie night marathon. What a deal.
Yes, I think that's the best thing about holidays, especially like Christmas. I like spending time with my friends.
If you make this treat, you'll for sure have a holly jolly time. Satisfy your sweet tooth with this chocolatey, delicious dessert and share in the holiday spirit early with your friends and family. Happy start of the fall and holiday season, Saints. OLU is a Hispanic serving institution, and a beloved Hispanic holiday known as Dia de los Muertos, or Day of the Dead, is coming up soon. Day of the Dead is a holiday that originated in Mexico but is widely celebrated in the U.S. and Latin America. Lakefront reporter Joel Rosales describes that many traditions behind the holiday celebrating life and death.
Dia de los Muertos is celebrated every year for 2 days. The first day, November 1st, is meant to honor the children who have passed, and November 2nd is meant to honor the adults who have passed.
Como si mi mamá le gustaba la coca, le pongo coca y así toda mi recuerdo bien a mi familia.
Maria Rosales, who celebrates Dia de los Muertos, says the holiday is the one day that the dead are allowed to visit the living.
Es cuando tienen el día que Dios les da para venir a visitarnos. Solo que yo los recuerdo cada año por mi familia que tengo muertos.
Dia de los Muertos is a beloved Mexican holiday in which many families celebrate in various ways. Jenny Rosales has a tradition she does every year.
Every year for Dia de los Muertos, we do an altar and we put the pictures of all our loved ones and we put their favorite foods around. We decorate it and we make it as beautiful as we can.
Altares typically include marigolds, bread named pan de muerto, sugar skulls, and alcohol. Going to the cemetery is another way people remember their loved ones.
And we take their favorite food and we sit there and we eat with their favorite food there at the cemetery with them. It is very important to celebrate every year because it is keeping them alive in our memories and in our hearts, and it's just to make sure that no one forgets them.
Dia de los Muertos is a very sacred and important Mexican holiday in which we honor and celebrate the lives of those we have lost but who will never be forgotten. Reporting for Lakefront News, I'm Joe Rosales.
Many Our Lady of the Lake students may wonder how and where they can get food and supplies that they need during difficult times. Lakefront reporter Roman Handy explains what is offered to them now at OLU.
There is now a food pantry which Our Lady of the Lake University offers to its students when they need food when they are in times of need. OLU partnered with the San Antonio Food Bank to launch a food pantry on campus during the spring 2022 semester. Spearheaded by the Wharton School of Social Service, the purpose of the food pantry is to ensure no student at OLU goes hungry.
I think that it makes people happy. I think that they are like, oh wow, we're offering, a service. There's students who may not have that source, and sometimes people don't speak about it, so we don't really know what students go through. But it's a resource here. People think like, okay, good, we can help students if they need that food.
The OLU Food Pantry is open to the community at the Wharton House of Social Work. Jessica Muniz is the social service manager at the Wharton Center and says the food pantry is an asset to Our Lady of the Lake.
The excitement for me is the opportunity to help students remain in school with the services we can provide.
The food pantry will be managed by a licensed social worker. Reporting for Lakefront News, I'm Roman Handy.
Blue may be our color, Saints, but many could argue there's a lack of blue bins on our campus. Reporter Danielle
Throughout the school, there are
reports
multiple
on
trash
recycling
cans,
here at
especially
OLU.
around high-traffic areas. But what about recycling bins? Most students can only list off maybe 2 recycling bins on campus. All of them are off to the side or very small to the point where you can barely see them unless you look.
I know that there's at least 2 recycling dumpsters, one by the cafeteria over here where most of the Elliott House takes their trash and recycling bins. And I know there's one by Lakeview, but that's like all the way on the other side of campus. Yeah.
Still, some students believe that OLU can do better.
Whenever we have monthly meetings in the Elliott House, we usually have like a meal, and it's good because we're provided, cutlery and plates that we can reuse or glass, and it's not like stuff that we dispose of. And if we did, it goes in the recycling bin. So it's they're taking initiative here to be able to have that change for the rest of the school. So I hope the school can look at this system and say, oh, well, we can adopt that in other areas that are needing it.
The Elliott House is an example of how OLU can improve when it comes to recycling and seems to be a step in the right direction. Reporting for Lakefront Media, I'm Danielle Palacio.
Thank you for tuning in to Lakefront News. Visit us online at lakefront.olu.com.